Hey everybody, Steve Quillian from Wood Window Makeover and the Wood Window Museum. I'm here on location at the famous May Stringer house in Brooksville. It's famous for how haunted it is. Maybe you'll see a ghost in this window behind me. Well, we're going to do a workshop here. We're going to do a First Friday here where we're going to take one of these windows apart and put it back together and have a really good time. This coming up this First Friday. It's the first Friday in June. We're going to be right here working on windows here, giving back to this wonderful property. It's a place where we have been several times before. We've had huge workshops here, done a lot of good for this place, and we'll be glad to be back again. But now I'm here. I'm just stewing over some things, and I've got my journal with me because I like journaling, and I wrote some things down the other day, and I thought I would share those with you, okay? This is my journal entry from, let's see if it's May 16th. May 16th, this is what I wrote about. Ease came with mastery and with an intuitive sense of action. Ease came with mastery and an intuitive sense of action. With practice, the mind and the body became one. The actions of the mind became inseparable actions of the body. And as a person didn't think about, I'm going to do this and then execute, it was just all thought and execution at the same time. The intuitions of the mind became effortless expressions of the body. A hammer strikes the chisel as effortlessly as taking a step towards the door. Placing the chisel in the proper spot, that becomes as effortless, as well as an intuitive sense of as when to resharpen. Razor sharp tools were easily achieved, and every tool had its place in a highly sophisticated, highly organized, handmade tool chest, or tool chests. There were often statements of caliber or rank. You want to be a master? Do you want to be a master? Start by making for yourself a toolbox. Go through the exercise of exercising your tools for the work to come, for the trip to the work. To organize the tools is to organize the mind. It is a simultaneous organization of job, task, tool, and self. To think through the toolbox is to think through where you are and where you want to be in relation to your work, in relation to yourself. Well, how big do I make the toolbox? Perhaps it's as big as the biggest tool. And that reminds me of a story of Mr. Usry, one of my first employers, the man who employed me as a carpenter helper. He had me make a toolbox. He had a handmade toolbox. And I asked him, I said, how big should I make it? And he took out a saw and he said, it should probably be big enough for your saw to fit. Anyway, we had those big hand saws back then. And so I made it so that my hand saw would fit. And that's how I decided how big my toolbox would be. So with a toolbox, how will you arrange it? Is there one box for this tool and another box for that one? Does one box fit within another? These are all questions that need an answer. And organize your tools and organize your life. Organize your tools until organizing becomes second nature, a part of life itself. So master your tools one by one. Incorporate into your box a place of honor for each. Here's something here, is that one cannot fashion a place for a tool where a relationship with that tool has yet to be established. You get that? One cannot fashion a place for a tool where a relationship with that tool has not been established. You actually have to have a connection with that tool to put it in a place of honor, to take care of it, to cherish it. So maybe the box you made is too large, or maybe a little bit out of proportion. This is all part of the learning and all part of the exercise, because the next time the box will be a little bit better, slightly more appropriate. It will fit better with the others. And each subsequent box after that will be better than the last until no more improvements can be made. So, you want to make more money? Master a tool. Demonstrate your mastery. You know, and when you master something, when you master a tool and you really mastered it, people will pay you to use that tool on their project. So which tool do you master? Well, the choice is yours, because you see the tools being used all around you. You know, and each one has its value. Each one has its contribution. No choice that you make will be frivolous if it's made with intention, if it's made with purpose, if it's your choice. Another can decide for you, and in many cases, you know, this will suffice. But what of the time when that person who decides for you, who makes the decisions on your behalf, disappears? Does your growth then stop? Do you explore no more? Or were all your explorations merely guided tours? And then when the tour is over, do you just go home? Are you not curious? Do you not wonder for yourself, what if? Well, then build your toolbox and start your journey. Start your journey. Seek out teachers and they will appear, perhaps as expected, as hoped. Some will come mysteriously, out of nowhere and out of the strangest places. When you want to know the truth will find you. If you want to know the truth about how to be an artisan, just put yourself to the work. That truth will find you.